But did you know that the Mafia still exists in the United States today? You may think that the Mafia disappeared many years ago, but the truth is, it's still active, just in a quieter way. In the past, the Mafia was mighty and controlled many businesses, including illegal ones like gambling and selling drugs. They also made a lot of money by threatening people. But today, the Mafia families have learned to hide and stay out of the spotlight to avoid getting caught by the police. But how do some of these famous Mafia families in America still exist? Join us as we look into the lives of Mafia families currently active in the US. To start things off, we have the Gambino Family. The Gambino family is one of the most well-known Mafia families in the US. It got its name from Carlo Gambino, who became the boss of the family in 1957. Under his leadership, the Gambino family became one of the most powerful criminal organizations in New York City. Gambino was known for keeping a low profile, and his quiet leadership helped him stay in power for many years without attracting too much attention from law enforcement. One of the most famous bosses after Carlo Gambino was John Gotti, who became the leader in 1986. Gotti, unlike Gambino, loved attention. He was called the Dapper Don because of his expensive suits and the Teflon Don because the police couldn't convict him. Gotti's reign was flashy, but it didn't last long. He was eventually convicted of several crimes and died in prison in 2002. Today, the Gambino family is still active, but has returned to being low-key. The current boss, Domenico Cefalu, prefers keeping things quiet like Carlo Gambino did. The family is still involved in illegal activities like gambling and loan sharking. They also own legitimate businesses like restaurants and construction companies. By keeping a low profile and avoiding big public scandals, the Gambino family has survived and adapted to the modern times. Number 2. Chicago Outfit. The Chicago Outfit is one of the most notorious organized crime groups in American history, famous for its violent reputation and deep connections to politics and law enforcement. Founded in the early 20th century, the outfit rose to power during the Prohibition era, a time when demand for illegal alcohol was at an all-time high. Who can forget the infamous Al Capone, the face of the outfit? Capone was a master at both making money and avoiding the law, embodying the spirit of organized crime. But how did this powerful family maintain its influence for so long? The outfit's operations extended beyond just bootlegging. They became heavily involved in illegal gambling, loan sharking, and even union racketeering. Their tentacles reached into legitimate businesses, allowing them to launder money and gain more power. Despite facing significant law enforcement efforts, the Chicago Outfit has continued to operate, albeit with a lower profile in recent years. They have a reputation for enforcing strict codes of silence among their members. Anyone who breaks that code faces severe consequences. Number 3. The Genoves Family. The Genoves family is often considered the most secretive and powerful of all the Mafia families. Unlike the flashy Gambinos, the Genoves family prefers to operate in the shadows. They've always been cautious in avoiding public attention, which has helped them stay under the radar for decades. The family is named after Vito Genovese, who took over in the 1950s and expanded the family's power. One of the reasons the Genovese family has been so successful is their ability to keep their leadership hidden. They often use acting bosses to run the family, while the real boss stays in the background. This makes it harder for law enforcement to target them. The Genovese family is also very smart when it comes to making money. They're involved in traditional Mafia businesses like gambling and loan sharking, but they also have ties to legitimate industries such as construction and labor unions. The current boss of the Genovese family is believed to be Liborio Barney Bellomo, but it's hard to know for sure because the family is so secretive. The Genovese family continues to operate in New York and other parts of the US, and they have a reputation for being very disciplined and avoiding internal conflicts that have hurt other families. Even though they keep a low profile, the Genovese family remains one of the most powerful Mafia families in the country. Number 4. The Lucazi Family. The Lucazi family may not be as famous as the Gambino or Genovese families, but they have a long history of influence in organized crime. Named after Tommy Lucazi, who led the family from 1951 to 1967, this Mafia family has been involved in a wide range of criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, and loan sharking. One of the reasons the Lucazi family has survived is their ability to adapt to changing times. In the 1990s, the Lucazi family faced a major setback when their boss, Vittorio Amuso, was arrested and sentenced to life in prison. Despite this, the family continued to operate. With different acting bosses taking charge over the years, the current acting boss is believed to be Michael Big Mike DeSantis, who is keeping the family running quietly. Like the other Mafia families, the Lucazi family has shifted from flashy crimes to more subtle operations. They still control construction, trucking, and waste management businesses, which allows them to launder money and stay involved in illegal activities. Although the Lucazi family is smaller than it used to be, it's still a force to be reckoned with in organized crime. Next up is the Dalal family. The Dalal family operates primarily in New Jersey and is often considered an offshoot of the New York Mafia. Their story begins in the mid-20th century when they made a name for themselves through various criminal enterprises. While not as notorious as the five families, the Dalal family has been involved in racketeering, drug trafficking, and extortion. One key to their survival has been their ability to blend into the local community. While other families drew law enforcement's attention, the Dalal family focused on establishing relationships to protect their interests. However, their history is not without its challenges. Infighting and leadership disputes have plagued the family over the years. Despite these issues, they've demonstrated resilience, proving they can adapt to changing circumstances. Can they continue to thrive, or will they face the same fate as the other once mighty crime families? Number 6. The Colombo Family. The Colombo family is known for its internal power struggles. Founded by Joseph Profaci in the 1920s, the family has had a turbulent history, with many internal conflicts. One of the Colombo family's most significant challenges was a long-standing war between two factions, one led by Carmine Persico and another by Joe Gallo. These internal conflicts weakened the family, making them less potent than the other Mafia families. Carmine Persico, also known as the Snake, was the boss of the family for many years, even while serving a life sentence in prison. Before he died in 2019, Persico tried to keep control of the family through his son, Alfonso Persico, who is also in prison. Despite their internal struggles, the Colombo family is still active today, although they are smaller and less powerful than they once were. Currently, the Colombo family is believed to be led by Andrew "Andy Mush" Russo, a close associate of Carmine Persico. The family remains involved in illegal activities such as loan sharking, extortion, and racketeering. However, their influence has been weakened by years of internal conflict and law enforcement pressure. Number 7. The Buffalo Crime Family. Known as the Gambino Family, the Buffalo Crime Family operates primarily in western New York. Stefano Gambino founded this family with a storied history that stretches back to the early 1900s. Despite being smaller than the five families, the Buffalo family has significantly impacted organized crime in the region. What about their operation allows them to remain influential even today? The Buffalo family has maintained strong ties with the Genoves family and has been involved in various illegal activities, such as loan sharking and narcotics trafficking. Their connections to the larger Mafia families have helped them survive and prosper. However, they are not without challenges. Law enforcement has increased its scrutiny of organized crime, leading to arrests and convictions of many family members. Yet even with these pressures, the Buffalo crime family continues to operate. How long can they maintain their hold on the region, especially as law enforcement ramps its efforts? Finally, we have the Bonano family. The Bonano family has one of the most dramatic histories of all the Mafia families. Named after Joseph Bonano, who led the family from the 1930s to the 1960s, the Bonano family was once one of the most powerful criminal organizations in New York. However, in the 1960s, Joseph Bonano was forced into retirement after an internal struggle, and the family underwent a decline. One of the most significant blows to the Bonano family came in the early 2000s, when several high-ranking members cooperated with law enforcement and testified against their fellow mobsters. This caused the family to lose a lot of power and influence. However, the Bonano family has managed to rebuild in recent years, and they're still active today. The current boss of the Bonano family is believed to be Michael "the Nose" Mancuso, who was released from prison in 2019 after serving time for murder. Under Mancuso's leadership, the Bonano family has focused on rebuilding its operations and avoiding the kind of attention that led to its downfall in the past. While it's no longer as powerful as it once was, the Bonano family is still involved in organized crime. particularly in areas like loan sharking and gambling. While the Mafia family is less powerful than in the 20th century, these 8 families are still active in the US today. They have adapted to changing times by staying out of the public eye and shifting their operations from flashy crimes to more subtle ones, such as controlling legitimate businesses and engaging in financial fraud. Do you think that their ability to remain under the radar signifies a resurgence of organized crime in the future, or is their legacy slowly fading away? Let us know down in the comments section below. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another one soon.